So we're here today to talk about the benefits of flying either a custom 2.5-inch drone or the DJI Avata 2 for indoor commercial work. So this is my little 2.5-inch drone. It's got a naked GoPro on the front. It's the KD Drones frame with it all in one board and the OG Vista. Now what makes this drone really good for indoor use is it's super lightweight. It's got the prop guards on it, so you know you're not going to chop anyone's hands off. It's very quiet, it lasts a good amount of time on a battery, talking 6 minutes, maybe more depending on how good your batteries are, and it's very nimble to fly indoors. Whereas this is the DJI Avata 2. Now, I was put off for getting one of these for quite a while, generally because I used to have a 3.5-inch drone with ducks, and which is these, by the way, on the outskirts. And I just found that it wasn't as good for flying indoors as a open ducted quad, which is one of these. You see how the sides are open and this one's closed? This basically means it allows the air to push through, so it's more nimble. But this drone for indoor work can be incredible. You get incredible lengths of battery out of it. The image quality off of the 04 air unit is incredible. The footage just in full auto. You can fly it in angle mode, so it holds the horizon for you, and it makes it super easy to get very stable fly through. Now every client you find are going to want a different type of fly through. This is in my opinion. So some of the clients that I've found want a very stable, nice, level fly through. They don't want the drone to be banking. They don't want elevation changes. They don't want you to hit tiny little gaps. They just want a nice, steady, flat fly through. And that means the Avata 2 is incredible for that. Some clients ask for a different type of fly through where they've got lots of people. They've got people playing characters, so it's a live moving scene. They want you to dive through windows. They want you to go under chairs. They want you to do all sorts of different things with the drone, and that's where the custom drone can come in place. So what's really important when starting out as a pilot, or when you start out as a drone pilot, is to think about the sort of work that you're going to do and to buy a tool that's going to enable you to do most of that work. And then you can specialize off of that when you know what sort of work you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, these drones, they're just tools for doing your job, tools for creating the product that your clients want. So there's no shame in using a DJI Avata 2 to create a product, because at the end of the day, which sounds so cliche, the product is what the client's paying for. So you just have to use the right tool to make it. Now, the very first thing, these batteries have a charging case like this. I haven't charged these batteries in a week. I click the button, it's still got 2.5 bars per battery, which I know I'm probably going to get 8 minutes per battery, which is insane because I'm used to flying custom FPV drones, and this morning I've had to spend half an hour to an hour charging all these LiPos separately, and you can just literally just come out and fly because the batteries are still good to go, and I don't have to worry about discharging them. So that's good. I like that. Okay, so straight away the drone is warning me that there's a prison about 5,000 years away, so we've got to watch out for that. The image looks amazing. And then we're straight up. Image looks absolutely insane. It's super crispy. Really sharpened image from DJI. But we're in normal mode here, and it's so easy to fly. So if you had a client that wanted a super level fly through, and they didn't want any banking in the footage, and they wanted nice, easy image, this is such a good drone to use for those sort of jobs. The battery length is going to get you sort of, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, maybe more. Which, when you're doing a full building tour, can be super useful to have that sort of length of battery time, so you can stop and go in between takes and not worry about charging LiPos. But what you are going to miss out on this drone when you're in this angle mode that it's in now, or this GPS mode, is it hasn't got that flowy style of the normal drone. You can sort of counter for it by making it fly like a FPV drone more, but you're always going to end up still looking like a Mavic or a GPS drone sort of floating around as such, because it holds it perfectly on the horizon. So let's flip it into manual mode, and now we're in manual mode. Right, so this straight away in manual mode I think is a lot harder to fly than a custom built FPV drone. It's the throttle on it, the way the motors move, it kind of like propels you forwards, and it's got a lot of like, it feels like there's like a lot of mass behind it. So it's a lot harder. It feels like it gets going like that, it gets going, and it doesn't really slow down quickly. Whereas the 2.5 inch, I feel like is really easy to sort of fly in a nice, more flowy manner. All right, land it back in. Right, so the park is clear. Let's take the little 2.5 inch QAV for a little roll. Just going to turn on the GoPro when it eventually decides to turn on. Okay, so it's on. I'm going to press the button at the back. I don't know if it turned off then or turned on again. These naked GoPros are complete faff. I can't wait for one to have a screen on it. Oh, there we go. So it's recording. Cool. And let's have a little mooch around the park on the custom QAV. So for this, I've got air mode on. I like air mode if I'm outside because I feel like it gives me greater control. Air mode inside is a bit of a nightmare because it will suck you into all of the walls. Obviously you don't have air mode, I don't think you can turn air mode on and off on the DJI Avata 2. Let's try and get through some of these little... Oh, he's already pranged it. So let's have a little mooch around the park. So the custom 2.5 inch, obviously the grass is really wet, so I don't really want to get the drone wet. But the custom 2.5 inch is nice. It feels like it's got more of a flow than the DJI Avata 2 has got. But that's because we're flying it in full aero mode. Clip the stuff there again. So it's not going to hold the horizon. The drone's going to flow from left to right as such. And it allows you to be a little bit faster, a little bit more flowy and drone-like with your movements. And also you can do some light freestyle. This is obviously a 2.5 inch drone, and it's got a naked camera on the back, so, or on the front should I say, so it's probably not going to be the one for any freestyle because it's got a giant brick on the front of it. But yeah, like this drone would be great if you had a client who wanted some sort of like fly through where you could drop into some sort of fast flowy stuff as well as doing some sort of indoor stuff. Limitations are going to be the battery. It's already at, well, 1 minute 47 of flying. I'm at 14.4 volts, so it's not the best in terms of battery length. I'm only going to get about 3 minutes. The client might be expecting a little bit more sort of battery time or on a shoot as such. Should we shoot through here? Ghost branches, eh? So yeah, the battery's not ideal. Obviously you've got a naked GoPro on here, which is a bit of a faff to use, but the image out of it is pretty good compared to the Avata 2, although the Avata 2 has got an amazing image out of it, but it flies differently. And that's what I was saying before about having different drones for different jobs. And that's it, 14 volts on the battery, 3 minutes 19 flight. Although it is a faff to set up, it is good fun. So it's a good drone to have in your kit. Check the GoPro still recording. The light's not flashing anymore, so I've got no idea. We'll just unplug and hope for the best. Just ripped up the VEC cable thing out of the back of the naked. That wouldn't happen on the Avata 2 because you wouldn't be messing around with this stuff. Okay, so they are my thoughts on using either the DJI Avata 2 or using a custom 2.5 inch drone for work. Both of them have got a use case and both of them create a similar but different product. So having both of them can only be a good thing, and there's no shame in using only one or using only two. There's definitely a use case to having bigger, more powerful FPV drones, which the Avata 2 will never be able to match, but there's certainly a sort of level with fly-throughs which you can do with the Avata 2 and create really something incredible. And when the 04 comes out and you're able to use that in custom drones, that will be a game changer. So maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe just waffling, just talking to the back of the van.